What's up and welcome to my YouTube channel, Pochoklak. Today I will be reviewing the Makina Watches Mephisto III GMT. Makina Watches is a Filipino brand and that's why I'm excited for this review. It was founded in 2017 and they've been featured in mainstream media. They've won many awards and I think their designs really stand out. A brief overview of the watch. The Mephisto III GMT is an integrated bracelet sports watch. It is based on the very first model that Makina Watches released, the Mephisto, and it's a variant of the Mephisto 3, which has a time-only display. And this one, by comparison, it has a GMT complication. I'll break this review down into segments. First, we'll talk about the case, and then we'll talk about the bracelet, and then the dial, and then finally, the movement. After we talk about those details about the watch, I'll talk about the wearing experience as I got to test this watch out for a full weekend. After that, I'll be telling you about the price and then I'll be sharing my closing thoughts. And my closing thoughts include who I think this watch is for, as well as things that I think can be improved on the watch. Without further ado, let's get right to the review. Let's talk about the case of the Mephisto III GMT. It has a tonneau-shaped case measuring 38mm across with a lug-to-lug measurement of 45mm and a thickness of 11.55mm. Today, most integrated bracelet sports watches, they come in 40mm, but I actually think that 38mm is the better size, especially considering the larger than usual wear of this style of watch. That's why I think the Mephisto III GMT is perfectly sized. The case primarily has a brushed finish, but the look is elevated by polished elements, including the round, concave-edged bezel holding the sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating. And I think the standout polished element on this tonneau-shaped case has to be the concave polished edges, which on its own I think does make this watch feel like a premium product. The Mephisto III GMT has an exhibition case back, which allows you to appreciate the movement inside. Operating this movement is done via the screw-down signed crown, but I think it was a bit tricky to operate the movement because of the polished surfaces on the crown. Being an integrated bracelet sports watch, the bracelet is definitely a vital part of this watch. The bracelet reminds me of the bracelet of the Patek Philippe Nautilus. This is an H-link style bracelet with polished center links, and the bracelet is held together by push pins, and it's well articulated, I think. And the concave edge polish from the case continues throughout the bracelet, and I think that's just a wonderful touch on the part of Makina Watches. The bracelet has a butterfly clasp to which the bracelet tapers quite well, as you'll see here. The dial here is unique as it has a very industrial looking design. The blue on the dial is made of brass and it has multiple slopes that make it look like a spinning helicopter blade, and some might even argue that the design here makes it look like a sector dial. On this blue section of the dial sit the 12-hour metallic indices, which are timed by the alpha style hour and minute hands. The seconds hand has a touch of red, while the short needle like GMT is fully colored red, and to round things off, it tracks the red 24-hour markers on the silver colored outer ring. The markers are arrows for odd numbers, while they are Arabic numerals for even numbers. And I do find the GMT hand a bit too short, but the concentric lines on the dial help wearers to decipher the time on the second time zone. All in all, this is a modern, techy-looking dial that is sure to please. The movement inside the Mephisto 3 GMT is the Miyota 9075. For me, the 9 series of Miyota premium movements is comparable with Swiss movements from ETA and Celita. The Miyota 9075 is a marvel it has effectively democratized the Traveler GMT functionality, allowing micro brands like Makina Watches to put out watches with the Flyer or Traveler GMT functionality. Compared to a collar GMT movement, the Traveler or Flyer GMT allows you to independently set the hour hand, and that makes it easy for jet setters crossing multiple time zones. In this watch, the Miyota 9075 is decorated with Geneva striping, and it has a gold electroplated rotor, which is also skeletonized and signed by Makina. The decorations here are not the best, but they are pleasing enough to look at. The Miyota 9075, as you can probably observe here, beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour or 4 Hz, thereby having a smooth sweep. It has a 42-hour power reserve and has a hacking functionality. The movement has been regulated by Makina Watches to have an accuracy of -5 to +5 seconds a day. The watch wears comfortably, sized to my 7-inch wrist, as the watch hugs my wrist quite well, as you will see here. There is minimal hair pull from the bracelet, and I think that the size here will work well enough with a variety of wrists. For integrated bracelet sports watches, I like them to wear a bit smaller than usual, as to allow for me to appreciate the form factor of the bracelet. During my time with the watch, I tracked the time zone in California on the second time zone, and I found myself relying quite a bit on the watch whenever I needed to know the time on the other side of the world. The contrasting colors on the dial help with legibility, and coupled with the nice dial and the nicely finished case and bracelet, the overall wearing experience with this watch is generally smooth. This watch is sold by Makina Watches on their website for $850 or 49,500 pesos. International shipping from the Philippines is free. Now, price-wise, this might seem a bit much for some, especially considering that this is not made in Switzerland or Germany or Japan. I will say this though, this is a great watch that wears comfortably, has a nice original design, and has a 4 Hz Flyer GMT movement. A Flyer GMT movement. Think about that. This is not just worth the asking price. I think it demands your attention. This watch is for someone who moves around in the world quite frequently and wants to be safe while doing it. The common configuration for GMT watches is a bicolored rotating bezel that looks like the GMT Master 2s of the world, and those are targets for muggers. And with this watch being as understated as it is, having its own identity, I think for frequent travelers, jet setters, you'd want to consider this watch. There are very few integrated bracelet sports watches that have a Flyer GMT functionality. So I think this watch is sort of its own thing, even if it borrows elements from other more prominent watches. This is also for someone who wants to support Filipino products and show it. This watch has the colors of the Philippine flag, movement included, with that electroplated yellow gold rotor. In terms of things that can be improved on this watch, I think more dial and strap options for starters. So maybe more people want a lot more choices when it comes to the dial, for example. They might want darker colors. They might want more playful colors and whatnot. I think more options in that sense will help a lot. And I did observe in terms of the strap options, the bracelet here has is easy to remove. It has a quick release system, and to me it's quite puzzling how there are no other strap options or bracelet options at this point. For example, while I love the look of the polished center links, I prefer my center links to be brushed. Other than that, probably the adjustment system for the bracelet, as mentioned, these are held together by push pins, and probably having something like screws holding the bracelet together would be the more user-friendly choice, I would say. That's it for the review. If you like this watch, please go ahead to Makina's website, link in the description, to purchase the watch. While you're there, please do check out their other models. The Gabriel and the Azazel, the new model that's upcoming, they're particularly interesting to me. And see, while Makina Watches, not all of their designs click with me, I most certainly am looking forward to seeing more designs from the brand. But that's just my take. If you have a different take, if you have something that you think I can improve on this channel and in this review, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you're interested in this type of content, please hit the like button and please subscribe to the channel. Now, 95% of you are not subscribed to the channel, and your subscription would mean a lot to me. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Laters, yo!